If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option, as Sori says. 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch.
All right, you guys.
All right, here we go, guys. VICERA-Lamb to the slaughter. Let's do it.
Wow.
That's a singer from Solosis. The band that we did 2 songs of, that's a singer. He's got another band.
Cool.
An endless
good.
cycle of perpetual decay. The waking nightmare that will never cease to end, forever spiraling into your darkest days. Let's drink to misery. Your never-ending thirst.
Oh my gosh.
I think this is about his alcoholic father, I think.
Oh no.
Betrayal won't be forgiven. This is a hell we live in. Disintegration of love and nurture. A flagrant violation. Ashamed. This heart is rusting, a hateful creature. Thrown into chaos. Betrayed. We abandon the light, paralyzed by the horror. Now the blind lead the blind like lamb to the slaughter. You didn't know I could do death vocals, did you?
I had no idea. One taste of power and you'll savor the game. And you'll deny your heart to justify the pain. Wow. A hatred so misplaced, a mask to hide your face. I'll cry for you no more behind the iron doors. Red soil, betrayal won't be forgiven. Red soil, this is hell we live in. Sin of the father, gift to the son. One day you'll return, I will wait. We abandon the light, paralyzed by the horror. Now the blind lead the blind like the lamb to the slaughter. We abandon the light. So you think this is about his dad?
Well, it says sins of the father.
Yeah.
Gift to the son. Holy shit, we got Tony. Tony can also Tony's rapping. Tony's rapping. Night's a good night for a suicide, but I'm a coward, so I just deal with the pain. Wait out the pouring rain till I'm dry again. These thoughts might be a sin, but I'm still here, so for me it's a win. Bars.
Yes, and stay with us.
And stay. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Already in process.
Wow.
Yeah, so this guy, his dad, it looks like, man.
Forever spiraling into your darkest days, yeah.
Yeah, hatred so much.
Yeah, disintegration of love and nurture.
Face. Yeah, I think it's about his dad. I think it's about his dad, for sure. And the only reason I took alcohol was because let's drink to misery or never-ending thirst. I think he's kind of doing a double entendre about that. Which, it's interesting to import the Solosis lyrics about losing faith and things like that, and, sins of the flesh, and then it transitioned again to sins of the father, things like that. Like, it's still got some Christian imagery. Like, you'd have to be... Yeah. You'd have to have some experience in Christian imagery.
Well, lamb to the slaughter, too. Did you say that?
Yeah, lamb to the slaughter, which not necessarily a Christian term, but,
the phrase itself?
Yeah, it's not necessarily a Christian term.
Okay. I mean, it's hard for me, I guess. Yeah,
you're probably right. I know, Isaiah 53.
It's so, like, yeah.
Yeah. So
Isaiah 53, it's a prophecy. You guys should check it out. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, like a lamb to the slaughter and like a sheep.
It's so unbelievably accurate that it happened so long before Jesus came along that it's pretty wild.
Like a lamb to the slaughter and like a sheep before its shearers was silent, so he opened not his mouth. By appearance, oppression and judgment, he was taken away. Yeah, so lamb to the slaughter is mention of Christ. Disintegration. Yeah, man, there's really nothing like a father wound, man. It's a really terrible wound, and I don't really know if you actually ever really truly recover from it.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
And
is that like a scary place? Like, I mean, you're a there, so
not at all, because I was just about to say, kids are actually really.
Vin's confidence is always on 10.
Huh?
I said Vin's confidence is always on 10.
Well, I just know that kids are really, really forgiving, and that kids know that if you.
Yeah, they know you're in their corner.
They know when you're but the kids know when you're putting out, and obviously, I'm always going to be contrasted with.
Yeah.
So and so, I could.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got pretty low standards. You know what I'm saying? So I benefit very greatly from their low standards. But you remember that time Dorian said, having a father with this caliber of wisdom.
or whatever he said. I was talking to him yesterday. I said, hey, in Florida, you know what we should do? We should join a tennis club. You know what he said?
What?
He said, splendid.
Splendid. Look, he got this for me. He had this picture printed of me and him. Whoops.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
It's a... So
None for me, though, that evil bitch. But he's like, splendid. Uh-oh, goofy audio. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It's because you. Yeah, but like I don't worry about it very much because, you know, I'm doing my best, and I think most kids are like that. If your dad is doing his best, most kids are going to be pretty forgiving. They're going to be understanding.
Yeah. Especially once they become parents of their own, and then they're going to be like, wait,
Right.
Wow, Dad had 4-hour conversations with us constantly about the stuff we...
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not always convenient.
It's really funny too because you know, relationships go in seasons. Like you know, I took Johan to get his tooth pulled, and we've been kind of jamming
I saw him with
ever
his
since.
arm around you.
Yeah, we were watching the movie Knives Out or whatever. Yeah. So it's been cool, but you know, that was like one of the things that really pushed me to fix my freaking sleep cycle, man, because I'd be up at night and I'd be like, start thinking about the kids and I'm like, oh man, what if I died? You know what I'm saying? And I'd start like freaking out and losing, you know, I'd be losing. It was very, very, and then it would like make it damn near impossible to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So it was just,
I don't let myself even...
always imagining them getting some horrible phone calls and shit like that. Because, you know, at the time when I was involved in doing shit that... I don't know. Because the very, very last trip I went on, like... I don't know, there's probably some... It's probably some... I don't know. But... like, holy shit, man. Like, what if I want to come home? And it was just horrible because... you were like, are you sure you want to do this? You want to go? We were left. You were saying that shit like when we left the embassy. You were like,
That's such
I
a
just
bad
have
feeling
a bad
about
feeling about this. And I'm like, and then like the night before I was supposed to fly out, that was the only time they'd ever, don't leave. That's the only time they'd ever. So I think like that still like fucks with me because of, you know, how shit went down for the last time I was out there. But so yeah. So now, like, it's crazy. Like, I get to work from home, and they do homeschool and home businesses, and everything is all straight. But, the chance that I could have not been there for them is a pretty crazy situation.
Yeah.
So from that vantage point, I'm like, okay, I don't think I'm ever gonna deal with like the whole situation, like in this life. But at least like I gotta be able to get some sleep because I can't just sit here all night and obsess about that shit. And it's like it was so weird too. It's like you're here, like I'm here, like I'm years removed from the situation. Like I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you must have been traumatized a little bit from it. That otherwise it doesn't make any sense. I never think. Well, once in a while I'll think, oh, if the kids. You know, but mine's never like something traumatic like that. It's like, what if I get cancer and then I have to leave the kids and blah, blah, blah. That would be so horrible. But mostly my panic is if something happened to them.
Yeah.
And then Selah looks at me. She's like, can you imagine if one of us kids died before you guys? I was like, why would you say that to me? I don't want to think about that at all.
Horrible.
I'm a terrible child.
Horrible. But, you know, in this situation... I don't know. I think the kid is still leaving the doorway out for his dad to come back, though. Because doesn't he say, like, you'll come home or something like that?
He did, but one day you'll return. I will wait.
Yeah. Like, red soil betrayal won't be forgiven. But then he says, one day you'll return, I'll wait.
Yeah. And I think that's basically what it looks like when I've seen kids that have been in bad situations with their parents. That's how it is. They're like, there's a part of them that's like, you know, F you. And then there's a part of them that's like, mommy, daddy, please come back. Yeah. Like that childlikeness that even as old as they get, like, it doesn't matter. I saw it with, you know, when I was in college and people were talking about it. They would look like kids when they were talking about it. It's just the saddest thing, man.
Yeah.
And one of my friends, she was just like that. Like, she just wanted to have her parent back. She spent like literally years trying to get in contact with her parents. It was hard because
was it an adopted situation?
Yeah,
Birth mother
it was.
situation?
It was. Well, she finally, she grew up. She finally got. I think at a certain point you can access your own paperwork, even if it was closed. And so she accessed it, and then I don't know, I guess she ended up getting in contact with her mother, but it turns out her mother was an addict, and so her mother was like super happy to see her, but her mother was only looking at her as a resource. And so her mother moved in with her. She was so thrilled. She was going to get to spend some time with her mom. And then her mom was just using her and taking her money and destroying her life. And so she had to send her mother away, which was super painful. I was like, wow, man. Like, jeez.
You're going to have to reestablish Amy. I didn't take your wrench, Amy.
Well, you told us to take your wrench.
She tells us every other day. She doesn't really mean it.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, we could find her and remod her.
Remod spank. Okay.
What?
That's what she changed her name to. Spank.
Subhanallah.
Okay, add moderator. Spank.
But that's a crazy line. In the midst of all of that craziness,
This is how they turn you into a Christian. I'm sorry.
In all the midst of that craziness and all that, he's like still leaving it open for his dad to return. Mm-hmm. And look, man, that kind of hope and disappointment maybe is still better than unforgiveness to your parents. Mm-hmm. It is. And, I know that for a fact because, some of you guys could put the dots together. My kids are going through that and will probably go through that for the rest of their lives. But it's still better to have hope and be disappointed by your parent than just completely have unforgiveness to your parent. Like, because that's just never going to go away.
Because of what it does to you.
Yeah, and the older you get, the more like your parent you're going to look, statistically speaking.
Yep. That's true.
So it's
That's true, yeah.
Me, I'm like, I don't sit there and my strategy for like unforgiveness is to not invest so much in people emotionally once you see the shit going left. Once I really start to see it go left, before that 90-degree angle happens, I'm out. And then I mean, you're just out of my mind. But that's one of the things that God's showing me. Like, I don't necessarily believe it's a bad strategy, but it's a horrible universal strategy. And it's bad if it's the only strategy you have, because there's some people you can't do that with. Orion's really been pissing me off. What am I gonna do? Well, fuck you, boy. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here, nigga. You gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain people you can't do that with. So you still gotta practice. They call it therapeutic forgiveness or whatever. But I will always say that hope is a better emotion, even hope disappointed, than unforgiveness is, especially to a parent. Because that's just never going to go away. And a lot of it is like when we had this conversation, actually, last week, about integrating your inner child with your adult self. And yeah, I know it sounds like a bunch of woo-woo, but I believe it's real. I believe there's a part of your consciousness that's really underdeveloped, especially if you have wounds from your childhood that obviously you didn't have the sophistication to articulate. That part of your consciousness remains in that state, not necessarily an exact age like 5 or 6, but it's in that stage of childlikeness. And until you can face that child and then give that child the understanding on both sides, you can reintegrate yourself, to speak from a Jungian perspective, become a whole person.
Right, which is why it's so horrible to have really negative self-talk. Because you're essentially putting that child part of yourself through more trauma. Not a good play. They don't need that from you.
For sure.
Did you okay, so I loved how heavy it was. I liked, the vocal stuff. I liked all of it. But to me, it was like, there was nothing unique about it. It seemed like, I felt like I've heard this before.
Yeah, I mean, it's heavy shit, low end. Yeah.
But I still
it was
liked
very
it.
similar. The lyrics to me were the most unique thing about it, just the way that they went about with it.
Agreed.
I'm going to say the previous song was my favorite song of the night. What do you give this one?
8.6.
I give this one a solid 8.5.
Shoot, I almost went with an 8.5.
Not too late. It's too late to
But I beat you out, so
apologize.
yes.
Shout out to DJ Mike. Holy smoky, mokey.
Thank you for the night, for the DJ stream that we all got to enjoy.
You know the big thing.
Uh-oh,
we
what?
didn't even give 70s night any DJ air horns. We're like, oh, that's great. See you later. The biggest thing about tonight is that we really got a good, decent helping of Solosis. We basically heard 2.5 Solosis songs.
Right.
And they were really, really good. And they kind of have a signature style. They really, really do.
I agree.
So, shout out to DJ Mike for that. We have another DJ stream coming for you bitches tomorrow, don't we?
Well, tomorrow we can DJ stream it or we can not. We can do whatever we want. It's these, and I'm not budging, babe. Please don't make me budge on that. These people.
Oh, that guy's birthday was next month.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was tomorrow.
We do have a birthday in 2 days, though. It's Neil's birthday in 2 days, you bitches.
Gang.
Yep, so we'll be coming for our birthday stream. Actually, Neil, email me and tell me what's the earliest Eastern Standard Time you could start at.
And this is, what's the turtle's name again? Do you remember?
Lucky.
Shout out to Lucky the Turtle. We'll see him again at the resurrection of the just, inshallah. All right, dear listener. We, on the other hand, have to get out of here. Neil Murray, I'm so freaking happy you were born, bro. I cannot wait for your birthday. That's going to be so fun. Okay. Having said that, dear listener,